Andy, you're the general manager for Cascade Lakes Brewing.
Yep.
And Esme, you're the director of business development.
Correct. Yeah.
So and you're Bendites. I mean, you guys weren't necessarily born here, but you were raised here, lived out near Sun River, went to Three Rivers, went to Bend High. You left for college, Rose Holman for you, Andy, and then MIT for you, Esme. And then you come back to Bend, your hometown. First of all, tell a little bit about why Bend? What is it that brought you back? I mean, you guys have traveled extensively around the United States, outside the United States. What brought you back to Bend?
Yeah, I think so I was the first one to move back because I kind of, our family kind of bought into the business because of my passion for the brewing industry. But we wanted to get back to Bend mostly because of the community and the culture here. We had a lot of members of our community, like our close friends, still lived in Central Oregon. And I think it's just everybody, a lot of people comment about how nice the people are in Bend, how energetic, sort of upbeat, energy giving people are here in Bend. So that's what really excited us to be back. And buy local is something that's really prominent in our community. So investing in a local craft brewery was something that excited us. And then also like all the outdoor recreation. Our family loves to ski, run, hike, bike, etc. So we love that everything that Bend has to offer.
Esme, did it mean the same for you?
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where, growing up here, you take a lot of Bend for granted because it's your backyard. But so moving away, I think really gave me personally like a appreciation for what we do have here in our backyard and how important, the sense of community is. And then like Andy said, we both love being, outside as much as possible. We're both trail runners, as you know. So it really doesn't get any better than Bend. So yeah, the opportunity to come back and get involved in the community through like a small business for me was kind of a no-brainer once Andy got involved with this. So
talk too when you mentioned about COVID, because that was a huge pivot for all of us in so many ways. Some lost family members, businesses, all of it. I mean, that gamut is pretty broad. But how did you, especially as new owners coming into the business, and now here's a whole new big curveball that was thrown to all of us. Talk about how you navigated that.
Well, it was like similar to other retail and hospitality businesses. So, really recognize the importance of outdoor dining and kind of tried to flip it on its head and see like what.
And that time during COVID, like what were your hours like? I mean, because of staffing, COVID, testing, I mean, all of those other logistics. Were you guys pretty much living at the brewery or?
Well, Esme was still in process of moving down to Bend. So
it was all him during that time. Yeah.
But she kind of acted as my therapist during that time. So she was like, even though she joined the business later than that, she and my parents were pretty well up to speed with everything that was going on. And the Central Oregon brewing community was very helpful. We had biweekly calls where it's like, hey, we're seeing this, or like, hey, what issues are you dealing with? And that was really helpful to just like have some industry leaders and some peers to bounce things off of and make sure we were understanding ordinances all the same way, because there's so many questions that either we didn't have the answers to or we couldn't get the answers to. But yeah, it was tough for sure, and it was tough for anyone in our space.
Well, and I think too, it also brought back that sense of community to people coming together, helping each other out. How are you navigating? Which I think, that is a testament to what you guys have brought to the table and what you want Cascade Lakes Brewery to be about. So you've got the 7th Street Pub in Redmond, the Lodge, the pub here in town on Chandler. And then you've got a new one that you're got going on here on 27th and Reed Market. How big is the one on Chandler? How many square feet is that approximately, would you say? Is it going to be?
They're going to be about the same size. They're both about 5,500 square feet, I think. Yep. I think the one on Chandler is like 6,000 and the new one's going to be 5,500 square
But it's
feet.
going to be so cool because it's got that outdoor dining on the rooftop, which that'll be. So how has that been going during, because that was going on during COVID too, correct? Did that?
Oh yeah, it was going on before COVID. It feels like it's been taken forever. But no, it's
I
going
think we
great.
call that baptism by fire because every
Sure.
is like just a fire hose of stuff. And you can write a book and teach others when this is done, I'm sure.
Yeah, but no, we're really excited for the new restaurant. It's going to be something that we had our hands in on the design from start to finish. It's where we know the Bend community the best because we lived out east of town when we all went to Bend High, and have a really lot of friends and family friends in the Southeast Bend area, yeah, I think it like kind of allows us a chance to reinvent ourselves. And for the people that, maybe haven't come back to our Bend Brew Pub since our remodel and haven't seen like sort of the upgrades that we've made, it gives us a chance to exhibit that to a different and growing part of our town.
It's definitely needed. It is an area that it needs that. So what else is going in there? You've got Cascade Lakes is going in there. I understand there's going to be a gas station and some other.
Yeah, there will be a gas station, a coffee shop, and a few other,
Okay.
a couple other office type buildings. So yeah.
When is that set to open? Do you approximately?
So all the tenants and spaces kind of have their own timelines, but our brew pub is scheduled to open in March of 2023.
And we were hoping to do it this fall, but Ben
We were hoping to do it at Memorial Day of 2021.
Yeah.
So I mean, but now we feel pretty good. We're only 4 months out or 5 months out. There's not too much more that can delay us. We can see the finish line.
Well, there's a roundabout going in up there too, so I'm sure that played a part in keep pushing those dates back. Which
that made permitting really fun. So yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk too about, because this is the most recent one, is the not-for-profit. Some people say, oh, wow, they're a nonprofit now, which is not what that means. It's not a 501c3. Make sure I get all those in there. That's not what this is. We're not a nonprofit brewing company. Right. So talk about that so we can get that clarification, because I think it's pretty unique. It's an amazing business model, and it's also giving back to the community. Who came up with the idea, and like why the change?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to earlier in the conversation, Bend has had a tremendous impact on us, a positive impact on our family, and so that was one of the goals through the brewery when we bought in, was to positively impact the Bend, and we think the brewery is like a really great way to do that through our employees and through the outreach that beer has opportunities presented to it, but especially through COVID, as like the world came back and community get-togethers were more frequent, as we participated in those, we really felt, just like a sense of doing good when we would, help and support fundraisers and lead them ourselves and contribute to them. We found it really valuable. So we've been doing it more and more often since COVID. And so when we started talking about the decision, it just seemed to really align with the direction we were already going. So us stating we're not for profit is kind of a declaration of our mission of the business. It's to donate all our net proceeds, or to put them back into the employees' experience at Cascade Lakes and to our nonprofit partners. So we're really excited about it, and it was definitely like again a huge reason why we bought into the company. We didn't know that we would go all the way to a not-for-profit, but we did know that we wanted to be active in our community and to have a positive impact.
So everything else stays the same. Menu stays the same, staffing, the business, everything that's going forward. The beer's not changing, maybe adding, improving, all those things that you've been doing all along. But it's just those net profits are being redirected out to the community.
Yeah.
Who's the recipients of these? And I'm sure that list may grow and change over time.
So we do a lot with animal welfare and just general stewardship, especially in our local environment. So we contribute to Brightside Animal Shelter, Street Dog Hero are two of our biggest partners, and then we're also corporate sponsors of Central Oregon Trail Alliance. We donate a portion of our sales of some products to Oregon Hunters Association and Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, which are, do great work for wildlife protection and preservancy. So those are probably our biggest partners. We also we are investing in our employees' experience here. So we brought on health insurance earlier this year and have made our benefits package more robust. And as we continue to grow out of COVID and bring on a new restaurant, we're hoping to build upon that.
And since you guys started with it, what you thought this adventure, this journey, this family business was going to be to where it is today, I mean, there were so many variables, uncontrollable variables thrown at not only yourselves, but all of us. Is passion still there? Still loving what you're doing? How are you feeling today? Because this is, just baptism by fire is what I keep thinking of, but you've done an amazing job.
No, you can answer after. But it's been hard. There's definitely been hard days for sure. I think anyone who was in this industry through COVID is gonna say there were some really, really hard days, weeks, months. But I do think actually the not-for-profit part has really kind of, relit that fire for us too. Because as Andy said, that's the part we're most passionate about. So now that can be so open and so forthcoming with what we want to do with this company, I think we're really, really excited about it. And as Andy mentioned, we're finally getting really good signs that restaurant's going to open when we think it's going to open. So, it was a hard, not gonna lie, it was a hard few, especially for Andy, a couple of years, honestly, but we're really excited about the direction of the company now. And we think we have some awesome people on board to help get us there. So it's definitely there. The passion may have dwindled, I think, a little bit, but we're right back at it. So yeah.
I appreciate all of it. And I just admire the heck out of you guys and so proud. I mean, I can say that as a friend of, I don't know how long, family friend as well, but it's just amazing to watch what you guys have done. And the fact coming back to Bend, that's a huge testament to our little town and what you guys are doing. Kind of a flagship to Bend, I believe.
Awesome.
Thanks,
you.
Dawn. Yeah.
Right. Thanks, you guys.